Okay, I think we'll go ahead and get started. Sorry, it's kind of an empty room, but I know a lot of people are sleeping in or something. Anyway, so hopefully everybody saw, we sent out the draft, or last night it was sent out by Basha, and hopefully people have time to review it. We're just going to go through it here now. We'll go section by section and see if there's any edits, additions that people want. Remember that we have extensive minutes. The whole meeting's been recorded. We're trying to keep this report a bit concise so that it gets read. And that's why you don't see pages and pages of rationale. But if there's key points that can be succinctly summarized that you think should be added, let us know. Okay, so I think we start looking probably page 6. That's where we would want to start. Just noting that we accredited some new organizations and reaccredited some existing organizations. Anything there that's not looking right? Okay, 2, adoption of the agenda. Noted that we were adding a couple agenda items and the documents that have been provided. Okay, so now I'm moving on to section 3, IPHC Secretariat Informational Session. We had these presentations where this information was presented from Dr. Stewart. That all look good to people? That summary? Okay, then how about the MSE update? All look good to people? Okay, so then let's go to the fishing period, season opening and closing date. We had sort of a, host of motions. Chris, you have something there?
Yeah, paragraph 13.
Okay.
Is it clear when we say March 7th at 0600 Canadian time, we have the discussion that it would reflect local time if we went with that, so the US would open.
We should add that, yeah.
So just so that's very clear there. The other thing is, I think we need to add the rationale into why in each of these, why the dates were proposed in the comments, just so when commissioners are reviewing this, they understand why. And in the case of Canada, it was that was favorable tides for the fishing areas in Canada, and also have a season that would be as long as possible to get fish out of the water, and for allow vessels to do that and marketing purposes. I think those were the 3 points that were made.
Yeah, okay. I thought I had read.
Or is it in there somewhere and I missed it?
No, I thought that was the, yeah. It is there?
Down below.
They said extend the season as long as, so paragraph 17 says, I'm talking about the closing date, extend the season as long as possible. But I don't think we capture the other 2, which is favorable tides. So we should add you wanted a separate paragraph of Canada noted favorable tides.
And on that note, for paragraph 14, I think we need to add in there that with the March 10th, Canada expressed concern about the tides change, and it only gives us one day of real fishing before the tides will knock some of the areas out. So I just didn't see those in there. I'm not sure where the appropriate place to bring it in, but And the other thing is, and I can't remember, with the US motion for March 10th, did you specify a time? The time isn't in there. Was the time specified?
6 a.m.
So we should add that in there. Too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. CB noted the proposed opening times were selected for favorable tides. I don't know, reflect favorable tides, and then that's fine. And then the March 10th, what Chris was saying is at the end of favorable tides? Okay, allows 1 day of favorable before the tides change. And I would go back up where you have CB noted the proposed opening and make that opening date instead of time. Okay, and then,
Just for paragraph 14, I don't know what the tides are in America, but that the 1 day favorable tides in Canadian waters.
sure. Yeah, it's pretty similar. Okay, and then with March 10th, we need to add the date. So March 10th, 6 a.m. Canada, 5 a.m. US.
Or 6 a.m. local time.
If it's 6 a.m. Canadian local time, that would work.
Well, no, 6 a.m. local time was what we talked about. So it's.
No, for the closing, we said we'd do local
Oh, right.
time, but for the opening, we're gonna do 6 and 5, so they open at the same time. Okay, and then 15.
Sorry, can we go
paragraph-
back to the wording for 13?
Sure.
Could we say, instead of assuming US would open, could we say recognize, sorry, we'll finish this up and go back. Just so it's really clear, recognize in paragraph 13, instead of assuming, say recognizing this would mean the US would open, in Alaska would open. Just so there's no confusion that we recognize, we acknowledge that. That's what was part of the proposal. So recognizing this would mean the Alaska areas would open at 5 a.m. local time.
And then you just have to get the T off of mean, so it would meant mean.
I just wanted to be really, really clear that it wasn't just we weren't assuming, it was a recognition that we needed to calibrate things.
I don't think the T should be there, but we can figure that stuff out.
You might want to say 5 a.m. Alaska time.
Yeah. Okay.
Linda, can I ask a question about structure? So the way the paragraphs are numbered, are we doing a motion has a paragraph number with rationale underneath that same paragraph? Because now we're getting a mix of rationale being under a paragraph, and then some of the separately numbered paragraphs appear to be rationale. Is there a consistent format we're following, or does it just depend on how the discussion went?
I think we usually try to have rationale follow a number, but we'll get it all down and we can reformat.
Can I clarify?
Go ahead.
In terms of paragraph numbers, I'll just try to keep the same paragraph numbers as in the original documents, but each sentence that comes afterwards, so will be later reformatted as a new paragraph number for easy reference.
Okay, so there is some in 15. There's some, CB noted the benefits of a longer season, such as stronger ex-vessel prices, more time to harvest both halibut and sablefish, while also recognizing the potential impacts of disturbing stocks during spawning. I mean, I think that was the other discussion capture.
Just on the one point, last sentence there, while also recognizing the potential impacts of disturbing stuff. I would say the potential, I'm not sure that there are impacts. We don't really know. We've heard that there there isn't. So I would say something while also recognizing the potential for impacts.
Sure. For impacts
Of
on
disturbing, yeah,
spawning stocks.
yeah.
Okay. All right, and then.
16, we need the time in, 23:59.
We said local time there, 11:59, right?
Yeah.
Or 23:59, yeah.
Yeah, and 16.
This would follow previous regulations. It just makes no change, so this is not necessary.
Well, because we changed the other, we might as well put it in here just to be clear. We didn't change this one, don't you think?
But,
23:59 local time. Yeah, okay. And then everybody good with the rationale there? About the later season closing date and Dr. Stewart's information. We good on that section? And if anybody online has something and we don't see your hand, feel free to break in. Okay, so going to mortality limits. And we did add some from your rationale there, Julie, so.
Sorry,
Um,
I just realized in 4B, we do have a different time zone. Sorry for like going
Oh.
back there. It's a little bit later.
Yeah, you guys an hour different.
Yep.
Okay,
So just-
so opening time there is gonna be 4 AM?
Yep.
Nice.
Sounds like a
Alright.
great way to start the morning.
Yeah. Okay, so we better clarify. So 4B, 4 AM. Got it? Okay,
that work? Because it will be open in Alaska for 5 AM local time. Local for that area, right?
well, then it would be, oh, sure, okay. Okay,
What's the /
because in 4B, it's gonna open at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, just look.
Yeah, so then it would be,
I still think if you just had it in it, it's called it Alaska time, then if it's 5 AM Alaska time, that translates in 4B to
what do they call
Aleutian
4B time? They don't call it
Oh,
Alaska
Aleutian.
time?
Aleutian time zone.
Aleutian time. So if we say 5 AM Alaska time, does that translate to 4 AM Aleutian time? Fine for you?
Yeah, it's similar to how Alaska time is, same translation. And so,
Okay,
yes.
so we can probably say 5 AM Alaska time. Note, I mean, if we want, we can say noting 4B will open at 4 AM, but okay, ready to go to mortality limits?
Okay.
We made up 4A and 4B. So we have lack of full station coverage in regulatory areas 3A, 3B, and the Aleutians. Should we be adding the Bering Sea there? Is anybody paying attention? Shouldn't that also say the Bering Sea?
Can you please refer to the paragraphs? So I can-
Okay, paragraph 20, unless it changed, yeah. Under mortality limits. So I think it should say the Bering Sea as well. 3B, Bering Sea areas and the Aleutians. All right.
Can we just list the areas then? 3A, 3B, 4A, 4B, and 4C, D, and E?
Sure. Okay. All right, people good with paragraph 20? Paragraph 21? Twenty would be. The science shows that 20% of the coastwide should be allocated to Canada. Where does the should be allocated to Canada part come from?
Says good.
Oh, could. I'm just reading it wrong. Okay.
We can change it.
No,
we
I
should.
think I might need glasses. Okay, 22. All right, everybody good with that? That was Mark's
Madam
comment.
Chair?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to add something in there. I think I made some comments in that area around the 032 distribution in comparison between 2C and 2B, and that historically it has always been greater in 2C, and yet 2C is taking a smaller harvest. So I can work on a sentence to fit in there, or we can just.
Okay, why
Something
don't
along
you
those
work on
lines.
a sentence
Yep.
and send it, and we'll sort of keep moving and then come back to this.
That sounds good.
That'd be great. Sorry, I probably, have that in my notes too, but didn't capture it. Okay, so TCY recommendations, paragraph 23. I think this is mostly Brian from your motion. I didn't have a lot on 4A, 4B. I got some from Julie, but you guys should all make sure. Landry, you have something?
Yeah, I was trying to be succinct in having, could you pull up where you, I saw you were starting to edit for, I think it is 24 further down.
Okay.
Because I noticed it originally said 4A, and I hadn't had a chance to really review that. But I think what I was really trying to go with, based on my comments yesterday, was that 4B notes an absence of relevance, relevant survey data. And of course, because of paragraph 20, I mean, we could reference paragraph 20 for rationale. But we want to see more survey data in order to make decisions.
Yeah. Okay.
Just trying to figure out the best way to do
So
that.
do you want to break 4A and 4B apart? I mean, I think it's similar. Both areas are lacking survey data.
I'm fine with having it combined for it. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
otherwise we're just repeating the same paragraph.
Have to have the 2C reduction.
2C reduction?
So 2A, 2%. 2B, 17. 2A
Oh.
is supposed to be 8.5.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. So did we capture what you were looking for? Of relevant survey of relevant FIS data? So I would take it the second of, right?
Mhm.
So 4B also notes the absence of relative FIS data. You don't need relevant of FIS data, right? Recent? Did you want, what were you looking for? Is that sentence? You want recent there? I heard relevant too, but
I would say relevant and recent.
okay. Relevant.
Because I mean, honestly, if relevant data in this context is commercial catch harvest, it's insufficient relevance to what might be in the biomass because most of it was not harvested. So,
Okay. All right. So does that look okay now to you?
Yes.
Okay, so then we want the percent reduction that was supported for that area because we have it above. I guess I think they're different. Where did we end up? I think they were both at, one's at 16 and one's at, yeah.
15 and 16.
Yeah, so we'd have to do 16/15. Okay, and then we also, Jim was pointing out, we missed that at 2C. It should say the 8.5. And then for C, D, and E should have 15%. Okay, anything else missing from that paragraph 24? Go ahead, Garrett.
Yeah, thanks, Linda. I think I'd like to adjust the language a bit for 3B based on my comments.
Sure.
I did send it. Sorry for the
Oh, did you just?
timing on that, but yeah, I could just dictate 3B notes the 15% cut is based on the CB desire to implement a 15% coast-wide reduction. So delete fishery performance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, implement a 15% coast-wide reduction, comma, not an assessment of 3B's stock health or sustainability at current levels.
At current levels.
Chris?
I just think in that sentence, it should say the 50% cut is based on the USACB members' desire to implement, just so it's really clear there.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Chris.
Okay, do you want, oops. At current levels, okay, is that good?
Yeah.
We're trying to keep, is that good? I know you sent me more, but.
Yeah, I would like to note, despite our concerns over the limited scope of this.
All right, so the second sentence here, despite concerns over the limited scope of the 2024 FIST, 3B continues to demonstrate strong productivity, holding the second highest WPUE and the lowest harvest rate among fully utilized areas. You want that?
Yes, please.
Okay. And the lowest harvest rate among fully
Under
utilized
3.
areas.
Where's that 3B, 2B?
Okay, good.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Okay, for C, D, and E, you guys happy with what's there?
Yeah, I think it's fine, Linda. The others are pretty brief too. This may be a little bit less rationale than I'm used to seeing for particular
Yeah.
areas, especially ours, but it seems that the rest of them are pretty streamlined as well. So I guess we're okay with it.
Okay. Everything is in the minutes and everything, is there on the recording, but,
Sure.
so we're trying to keep it concise. Just want to make sure we capture the points that are really important to people.
Understand. I think those comments I think that's fine.
Okay. All right, so paragraph 25, US. I think that all looks right. So then it's in appendix 3. All right, so 27, paragraph 27, Chris?
Yeah, paragraph 27 seems a little bit of an anomaly to me in that there is no similar statement saying this CB noted the US's lack of support for the Canadian proposal, right? Like there isn't one following. So I guess it's a question of how do we really even need that for either one? Because, we're going to get some additional comments on it for earlier in the document. I guess I think if we want to say something there, we either have to go all in for the Canadian comments and then something all in for the US comments, or we just say the CB noted Canada's lack of support for the US distribution, blah, 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 ended after the first sentence, because the comments I made are included in paragraph 21. But if we're going to leave it in, I'd want to regurgitate some of those 21 points in 27. Or do we just leave the first sentence in and then put a similar sentence about the first sentence about after paragraph 2030 about the US sort of, they didn't support the Canadian one, just so it's fair and it's the same.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I've been trying to work on some wording for our opposition to the Canadian proposal and trying to find a place to fit them. So either where, we just need to know where they go.
I just think that it just needs to be consistent at all, right? Either we go all in with the comments again, and I'm fine either way. I just want to make sure it's the same for both.
So let's do it that we have a couple lines that say Canada didn't support for the reasons listed below and reference the paragraph, and then below Canada's motion will say the US didn't support for reasons referenced and cite that. Does that sound
Yeah,
good?
as long as consistent and it's clear for everybody. That sounds good.
Okay. All right, so in 27, we'll say CB noted Canada's lack of support for USA's proposed distribution in table 2. And then say C reference paragraph 30 there. Is that?
I think that some of our rationales in the rationale for our proposal is in 30. The rationale why we're comments I made against sort of the US proposal are kind of stated in 21. So I would reference 21 there.
Okay. All right. So under the US table, 27, we'll say the CB noted Canada's, the CB noted Canada's lack of support for USA's proposed distribution table 2. We might as well finish that sentence, which is informed by 3-year average of 032 biomass distribution. See paragraph 21 for additional rationale. Does that sound right, Chris?
So I'm confused because I just read 21 and maybe I'm not looking at this wrong. I'm seeing it is the US rationale, USCB's rationale for.
The paragraph numbers might have changed. Scrolls. No, that's.
Maybe I'm looking at them. I'm looking at them up here again.
Well, this is 21 here.
Oh yeah, but I guess I'm looking at them all.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we're good.
So is the
So see paragraph 21 for appropriate or additional rationale or relevant rationale?
I would just say relevant.
Relevant rationale. Okay. And then we drop the rest of that sentence.
I would just say, see paragraph 21 for the rationale provided or something like that.
Okay.
Because then
For-
it makes it sound like we sometimes put irrelevant rationale forward.
Well, that's happened.
For rationale provided?
Yeah.
Okay. Or for provided rationale, whichever. Okay, and then get rid of that next sentence. Or, yeah, because it's
Yep.
all above. All right. And then we will add a paragraph after Canada's motion, but well, maybe we should just do that. So let's go down below paragraph 30 and add a paragraph that is the mirror to the above of what we just did for Canada, saying the US did not support Canada's proposed distribution in table, whatever it is. And we can say, which is not informed by a 3-year average 032 biomass distribution. And then, Mark, did you have the right paragraph to?
Yeah, I'm still working on a few sentences. We can either circle back or just, I can just kind of speak out loud to what I have.
Paragraph 22 would be one to cite there. I don't know, Mark will have more, but go ahead, Mike.
I said, I do not want to see that sentence about Canada's never supporting the 032 biomass as a justification deleted.
Which paragraph? That's in
I don't know what paragraph it's in anymore. Can you
okay.
scroll back up? You just deleted this sentence right here. The Canadian Conference Board noted that that Canada has never accepted the 032 biomass distribution as a basis for allocating the GOES by DCEY. I do not want to see that sentence deleted.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike makes a good point. That sentence is not in paragraph 21. So
It's
we do
not.
just need to move that
Okay.
paragraph 21. Good catch, Mike.
Okay, so that last sentence that's crossed out in blue, put that back in.
In this paragraph or?
Just leave it where it is. That's perfect.
Linda, on paragraph 30, just for consistency, instead of the word arguments, so the CB noted the following arguments, can we use the word rationale? Just so we're using the same word throughout for what these points are?
Yes, good catch. Okay, and Mark, let me know when you have, did we start that one at the bottom of 30? Did you start one there? Okay. Yeah, okay. And then we want to note rationale provided in paragraph 22. And then I think we're gonna add to 22 from what Mark is working on.
Chris?
Once we finish this, I'd like to go back to paragraph, I can't remember what it was now, not 21. Paragraph 27, I think. I think just to finish this up and then we'll go back to paragraph 27.
Should be 032 FIS biomass distribution products. Mark, are you close on language for?
Yeah, and so it's going in paragraph 22 now? Is that the idea?
It can, yes, I
Okay.
think we'll put it in 22 and then reference it below 30.
All right. Yeah, give me just a few more.
Okay.
Can we just deal with 27 then?
Sure.
Okay, for 27, I think, I take Mike's point, but the line there, Canada's never accepted, that's actually part of the narrative in paragraph 21. So I think what we need to do is delete that second sentence. I know we just added it back in, but take the part Canada has never accepted biomass distribution and add that into paragraph 21. Uh, I think it's right before the sentence that starts moreover. Let me just see what I actually submitted.
I think it would fit better after the first sentence where you say it is a policy decision that is informed by science and socioeconomic considerations, and then paste it there.
Yeah, okay, we can put it there and take out the second version of it there.
You guys want to email to me what you have
Oh, to me, it will be easier.
or to, yeah.
I can copy paste it.
The rest will be easy.
What email do you want us to send that to?
Send it to both of us, maybe, if you're ready.
Linda, does it matter where rationale was provided? Like, is this, are these numbers here following like actually what happened in the arguments? Because I'm looking at 27. It seems like that sentence we just pulled from it did happen. That rationale was provided following the U.S. motion for TCE wise, and I'm just wondering if that's relevant or if we can just put it. I'm not quite sure on the formatting for minutes here.
I think as long as it's clear what it's addressing, it's, our formatting isn't that strict. If it seems like it's getting lost from addressing what it's supposed to address, then we should move it. But
Trying to summarize the conversation, put it into the right context and
I think we're starting to get a little bit close on how the conversation.
yeah,
Pulling things out of where they happen and putting them into other arguments that may not reflect reality. But, stuff.
While they're working on that, can we go up to paragraph 9? I missed making a suggestion at the very beginning.
Sure.
So under paragraph 9, sub B, so the implications of shifting reliance, at the end of that sentence, I'd like to add something along the lines of without another known significant year class subsequent to 2016. And it would be part of that sentence. So it wouldn't be a capital. You'd remove the period after fishery. Yep.
I also had a comment on 9 and I emailed you that. I don't really know how to put the wording in there, but something, to the effect, what did I write? I sent it to you.
Okay, I have from you, Patty, I have the CB notes the importance of maintaining long-term FIS data and supports the current FIS survey schedule and request increased survey points added when funding allows.
So we had a lot of discussion about the, FIS data being needed yesterday. So I think since there was so much discussion, we should put it in the conference board report.
Okay, how about something like the CB notes, the importance of maintaining robust FIS? I don't know, we can say data. And request increased survey stations as funding allows.
I think we need to put long-term in there because they've been doing this data collection since the 1960s.
Okay, we can put long-term before robust. How about that?
Linda?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Patty.
Just to kind of amend that versus as funding allows, I think it's been noted a few times that there's insufficient funding.
Increased funding, yeah.
Yes.
Good point. So how should we reword that? And the importance of securing additional funding?
I think that'd be
Yes.
I think we should also add in there, not just a robust fizz, but a robust fizz across all regions.
Sure. And then CB notes the importance of securing additional funding for the FIS down at the bottom.
And I'm hoping that the minutes can also reflect my note on the disproportionate financial contributions between contracting parties.
Securing notes the importance of securing equitable funding for the FIS from contracting parties. That's the wording of the convention. Okay. Okay, how are you doing, Mark? I heard that a while ago.
Just on paragraph 12 here, while we're getting this, I think we need to go a little bit of a step further in that. We say increased survey funding as funding allows. I think we need to make the point that the FIS has reached an area where it is no longer self-funding, right? I think that needs to be in there. So that's why we need the additional funding. Okay, so that somebody doesn't look and say, oh, well, it's the fact that it's no longer revenue neutral. That's the word they use. Yeah, thanks.
Notes the FIS is no longer revenue neutral and the importance.
And I don't, do we want to make the point though, it's not going to be revenue neutral for the foreseeable future. I mean, maybe we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here, but that's the issue, is that it's not revenue neutral now. And for the foreseeable future, it's not going to be revenue neutral.
And we could say,
maybe we're getting too far into the weeds, but that's the issue in my mind.
Yeah.
Linda, I would agree with that, but I think that that's something we probably should have talked about a lot more because it's a pretty huge issue that Chris is bringing up, but it's not something that we actually noted during the conversation. I don't think that we really talked about it. I think we should include it because it's important, but next year we should definitely make a note of like hammering that out and making it clear that the comments board really wants to take a hard look at neutrality and, in the FIS.
Yeah, I think it's a fair point. I think it's a fair comment. We didn't discuss it. So how about if we just said that the CB note, I didn't notice we're notes here, but we noted everywhere else. So I wonder if we need to change that. But the CB noted the FIS is no longer revenue neutral and then go with that. Because that's a stated fact that's out there. And then I think you're right. We didn't really get into the weeds on it, so let's not.
But Maddie did raise the issue yesterday of the importance of securing equitable funding.
Yes,
So
yeah.
I think we keep that in there. So do you want to take out the part about the foreseeable future? Are you good?
I would just say is no longer revenue neutral and
Okay.
take out the foreseeable future part.
Okay.
Linda, when
Alright.
we're finished with 12, could we jump back to 21 before we go to 22 for Mark?
Sure.
I just want that to capture my note that although the Secretariat has stated that there's no biological basis for IPHC regulatory areas, that there's also no biological basis for a Canadian national share.
So that's 21 is the Canadian statement. So we'd have to add, we could add it to 22.
Yeah, and I just emailed
You
some
did.
points, yeah.
Does it include Maddie's point? Okay. All right. You see it? Okay, and I would add Maddie's point after. Oh, I thought she also sent it to you.
Oh, this is Maddie, sorry, so I don't have the other one. So this is
Mark's? He sent it to CB support.
Oh.
Oop, decided to make it very large. Okay, and I would add Maddie's comment to right after that. Let us just get this, Robert, and then. Got it? Okay. Go ahead.
It's just Canada's proportional harvest is larger than the 032 stock distribution in Area 2 has never been, and its larger proportional harvest was accomplished through successive IPHC non-agreements, but the commissioners agreed to it, so I don't know how a non-agreement is an agreement.
Yeah, I made my comment I said that yesterday, and what I was referring to was the years when the contracting parties could not agree and non-agreements were taken, and then the U.S. lowered its harvest through regulation.
Okay, well, let's be very clear. There's been 2 years in the history of the commission where we have not agreed.
Yeah.
So one was 2018, and the one was like, Rob Morley was like, it was like the 80s or something like that. I
Yeah,
can't
it
remember.
was way.
So what years exactly you're talking about where we didn't agree? There's only been 2 that I'm aware of.
2018 would be
That would
the
be
only one.
2018. We can put that year in there if you
Okay,
want.
well, yeah, let's make that sound like it's years. It was 1 year recently and 1 year, and I think it was in the 80s, but I don't know exactly.
So maybe we say successive IPHC agreements and non-agreement, in parentheses, 2018.
Linda, we also, yes, and or we also could note that the conference board has never agreed because the US side of the conference board has always objected to that.
I think the conference board not agreeing is probably the better way to go because the IPHC they've agreed.
Okay, so maybe we say was accomplished despite non-agreement by the conference board. Does that get there? Okay, so
I just never understood how a non-agreement
was
accomplished. Was
without
accomplished.
agreement.
No, I
Yeah.
think saying that the conference board didn't agree is much more accurate.
By the CB.
I'm really kind of getting disturbed by what I'm seeing in this whole 22. This is getting to be like a point and counterpoint. I don't think the first sentence in 22 is correct. I'm not aware that the MSC process has ever identified or accused 2B of over harvesting. I've been in the MSCB for 12 years. I've never heard that statement.
So MPJ showed that.
I'm concerned about the whole tone of the same. I mean, if we want to make the statement that the U.S. objects to the harvest rate of 2B, fine, but do we have to go through all this point and counterpoint and arguing and all these nuanced items? It's like, I feel like we're getting in the weeds here.
We are getting in the weeds, but I think, we have balance and I hope we're about done.
Well, no, we're not about done. Does the convention call for equal contributions or equitable contributions?
Equal.
It says. Maybe it's, now I'd have to look. Someone had that language pulled yesterday and cited it. Chris, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I think we need to, I guess it's the third bullet there. The USA has never agreed to the concept of national. We had an agreement where Canada had a national share for 2019 to 2022. So I think, you have to say the USA Conference Board,
Yeah.
if that's the case.
Yeah. USA CB, you're right.
Linda?
USA CB, probably here too.
And in fact, the 1979 protocol talks about a share for Canada.
Linda, I don't want to suggest a wordsmithing right now, but structurally, can this section, so right now I think it's 3 paragraphs, it's paragraph 20, 21, and 22. Structurally, can we just have 2 paragraphs and agree that this section talks about the differing perspectives from each of the contracting parties about how the area distributions are made, and then have kind of US perspective bullet points, Canadian perspective bullet points? Because right now we're starting to have multiple numbered paragraphs, and I guess it's not clear to me why some of them get their own number. But I think that the character of the conversation really was talking about this approach to how the distribution is done. And I think you can divide those into US perspective and Canada perspective.
Yeah, I think once we get everything down, we'll do that reformatting. I think that's important. And then under each of the motions, there'll just be the statement that Canada didn't agree, see this paragraph for rationale. US didn't agree, see this paragraph. Makes sense.
This will be one.
Okay,
So you can see all this edited sections will be one paragraph bullet.
Yeah, okay. So I don't know if you heard that, but this edited section with bullet points will be one paragraph. And we'll make sure we have things grouped into sort of US rationale, Canada rationale.
Are we gonna have the chance to see the final product of this? I know we're pressed for time, but is there gonna be an opportunity to?
Let's try for that. If we
Okay.
can move through this quickly now, if we're done with that section, I think the rest will be relatively quick. And then there's time for the secretariat to reformat it and send it out and everybody to read it over. We good? Anything else?
Would you like a provide clarification from the convention?
Whether it's equal or equitable?
Yeah.
Sure.
Madam Chair.
You want me to read it?
So I found the section in the convention. It's section 3, Article 3, Section 1, says equal shares.
Can she add?
Go ahead. Why don't you add to that?
I'm just going to add to that. There's a sentence that says, joint expenses incurred by the commission shall be paid by the two parties in equal shares. However, upon recommendation of the commission, the parties may agree to vary the proportion of such joint expenses to be paid by each party after March 31st, 1981. And all decisions of the commission shall be made by concurring vote of at least 2 of the commissioners of each party.
Possibly equitable as determined by the commissioners is more appropriate.
Yeah, I don't know what's been decided since 1981, but you've been here longer than me, so.
Chris?
I think you'd have to say that the comment was made by the US and it was that Canada's only paying a small share of the IPHC's annual budget. They made that statement. Stop it there.
Yeah, that's probably
Like
best.
that statement was made.
Yeah.
You start arguing about what it actually says in the convention and what it means, we'll be here.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Thank you. That's fine.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. Okay, so now the paragraph that's below the Canada rationale will simply reference US opposed to that, to Canada's motion, and then reference the paragraph 21 above. I think it is, right? Yeah.
I will.
Or 22. No, it's 22. So it's 21 is the Canada rationale, 22 is the US. And
Can I?
sure.
So we are currently referencing the paragraphs as they're stated, but as we revise the report and make sure the formatting is correct, we'll adjust the numbers as needed.
Okay, so let's move on to the IPHC regulation proposals, number 6. I think the first ones are pretty easy. Brian, you happy with the, or I guess Forrest isn't here, 2C, 3A, what we got there about the catch sharing plan? A proposal was extensively vetted through the North Pacific Fishery Management Council process. That good? Okay. Then we're just noting the presentation on the year-round fishery. Yeah.
Just an edit to 36. There would be new marketing opportunities. One of those being related to Chinese New Year.
So
Because I don't want to just I don't want to limit it to just Chinese New Year because there is
That's just what Ken said.
yeah, that's just what Ken.
so market opportunities including new market opportunities
I would just leave it
including.
new marketing opportunities. You don't even have to include the Chinese.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, it's just new marketing opportunities.
Marketing, you want there?
No, I'd say market opportunity.
Okay, market. Yeah, sure.
And I would say new and existing and new market opportunities. Because a lot of it is they've lost the ability to service the market that they had before because of now they're penalized and it just doesn't make financial sense.
Got it. Okay. So new and existing marketing opportunities, period.
Thank you.
Market opportunities. Yeah. Okay. And then people good with the next couple paragraph. Okay, and that we have in there that Canadian CB members will meet in the interim to discuss year-round fishing in Canada in more detail, bring a proposal next year. Is that?
Yep.
Okay. And then with the proposal C2, we discussed it, the motion did not pass. Okay. C3, we took it into consideration as part of discussion on TCYs. So we're just not really commenting on that proposal because we commented on it above. People good with that? Okay, and then the rebuilding plan, and the language there about the C4, C5, is that all good by, because we don't have Malcolm, but Malcolm, sorry, I mean, we don't have Buck. Is that all look good to you, Malcolm, in that section? Did we capture?
I think it should be noted in both that they be referred to the MSAB for consideration.
Oh, yeah, good point. So that the CB recommended or noted, whatever the right
No,
word is.
actually, it's recommend that the commission direct the AMSAP, so.
Yes.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
And this was agreed language.
Oh,
as a
it
part
is
of
there.
the
Sorry.
voting
Okay.
motion.
Yeah.
I thought it was missing when he said that. Okay, and then Malcolm, that we had the word in there, higher baseline for stock utilization. Is that NWPUE? Somehow, I wasn't sure utilization was what you were after there. It was,
So this
It's
was part
basically
of the
its terms, it's a threshold, right?
yeah, so that was part of the, because it refers to both C4 and C5, and that was following that glass.
It's where you want to
yeah.
be as opposed to,
okay,
it's kind of where you're trying to manage the stock, so you can meet your.
I think that's fine.
okay, all right, good. All right, so those section good. So moving on to section 7, incidental catch and bycatch. Presentations. And the discussion. Noting the table. Go ahead, Chris.
On to paragraph 50 when we get there.
50?
Yeah, 50. Okay, I just think it's vague that 100% electronically monitored. I think that noting that the hook and line and trawl fisheries have 100% at sea monitoring and are 100% at sea electronic monitoring. And I think the DFO also mentioned 100% dockside monitoring. And then they summarize the data, and I would say it's the data audit process.
So add at sea and then end dockside. And then, okay, so then the last sentence is
Yeah.
fine.
And if anybody wants to see footage of what the audit looks like, I've got some video footage, just for the record.
And on 49, and over, I'm just kind of curious what the overview of the progress of implementing abundance-based management in the Gulf of Alaska provided by NOAA Fisheries is, because I don't think we received any information on implementing ABM in the Gulf of Alaska yet, because so far there is no plan to do that.
Well, a proposal's been submitted, but yes, I think we more discussed the Bering Sea. So we should probably change that. So implementing in the Bering Sea and proposed abundance-based management in the Gulf. How about that?
Well, the ABM.
Just regards to the abundance-based management for trawl bycatch up in the Bering Sea. I made the point of requesting that we get the table every year just to see where we're at on it.
Did that not get put in?
I don't see it there.
Okay.
It
I
does
guess I
say,
just assumed it was in there because I, yeah.
yeah, are provided in the table, so we should say CB requested this table be provided every year.
Thank you.
Okay, and did we get the other one fixed? I didn't catch what you were saying. The Bering Sea goal.
The Bering Sea paragraph is earlier. It's the first one, and the Gulf one. is-
Okay.
So that's what I suggest is progress in developing.
Okay, great.
Up on this
In
list.
developing, not implementing, yeah. Okay, can we move on to 8? Fact report. Anything there? That all look good? Okay. Go ahead, John.
You know, and where we had recommended identifying spawning and nursery areas, can we add in there that we're looking at directed, non-directed fishery in regards to this?
Okay, yeah, that's probably,
Directed and non-directed.
yeah. Okay, so hold that thought for one idea. Was there anything else on the fact section, the fact report? Are we good there? I think we were fine there. Okay, so on the habitat, so we want to say,
Wait, but going back to the fact report,
okay,
I would like it noted somehow that if changes are going to proceed, that the conference board be involved in that somehow. So I don't know where that would fit, that our input is sought or that we're involved in the further discussions.
yeah, but we could capture that. Some member, in-person meetings. How about we add that to the last statement there? The CB noted that providing more specific advice would require detailed estimate of cost savings associated with various efficiency options and should include discussion with CB members or with
Yeah.
the CB.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Okay. Then let's go to habitat and so how about we capture your comment there, Sean, determine whether management actions.
This was language that was kind of no objection.
Oh, so
Agreed.
that was the actual motion.
There was not the voting, but it was not.
But we did talk about all gear types in discussion of that. How about to preserve nursery areas? We could just say they're from all gear types. Or from impacts by all gear types. How about that? To preserve nursery areas from impacts by all gear types. But then we can't say under the IP. All right, we'll wordsmith that. Preserve nursery areas under the IPHC. So put that at the end, right?
How about this?
Or sure, that's fine. Or we could, yeah, that's fine.
And
Okay.
Linda, during discussions, at some point, there was a mention of timing. So this specifically talks about areas, but there may be certain times. Can we fit the word,
Temporal.
yeah, somewhere in there? And then I would also just note that previously, I think under the proposal to have the year-round fishery in Canada, one of the points was that I don't know if it said, Ian has said there's no, it's not clear if there's an impact on those winter fisheries to the spawning stock. But I think that's fine because this is asking for more information on spawning and nursery areas. But I just point out that if you were reading through these points, that might seem like a possible inconsistency.
Contradiction, yeah. Okay, types. So let's just add at the end with consideration of temporal management actions. So CB members noted the commissioner's responsibility to preserve nursery areas under the IPHC convention. And then something like that.
It might fit better in the first sentence where conduct a review and as needed research to identify spawning and something about temporal effects, identify spawning and nursery areas.
To determine whether management actions, including temporal.
Yeah, I think that's better, but if somebody has but I think it fits better in the earlier in the paragraph.
Okay, let's put it there and take it out the end. Okay, we good on that one? Did you get it? Okay. And then now implementation of electronic logbooks. We had the presentation from real-time data. One more push. If you want to take home a tablet and a subscription, you can do that today. Okay, any other changes there? Good. Okay. Election of co-chairpersons, probably nothing to argue about there. Vice chair. And did we miss anybody? So 70, express our appreciation for the presenters, for the amazing staff we have. Okay. So then, or do we need to look at do people maybe just look over the list in Appendix 1, make sure your contact information is correct? Appendix 2 is just our agenda. So I think that's probably all we need to review. And maybe should we take a stand down and sure. Yeah.
Can I just clarify? Carter Houston mentioned that he did not receive the report. Can you please verify your email as a part of check and let us know if this is incorrect? Thank you.
Is that Carter? You said Carter Hughes?
Carter Hughes.
Oh, okay. I can verify it for you too if we don't hear back from Carter. Okay, so
Here, I just activated the mic. That's correct. I've been on the conference board since 2019. So the date, I don't know if those dates on the far right are about your time on the board.
It's a current accreditation period.
okay, that's just the current accreditation period.
Okay, got it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, so should we take a stand down and give you a chance to reformat and then we'll look at it one more time and then decide if people are ready to adopt?
15 minutes
Is
break.
that good?
Yep.
Okay. Well, what do you need? All right, let's take 15-minute break and we'll get it reformatted and then take another look. Okay, so the new version was sent out. We just scanned it. It looks like the references to rationale for motions and opposing motions is correct. I think that's the part I would ask people. Seems like that's where there was the most concern. So make sure people are happy with the formatting there. Or if there's any suggestions to there or anywhere else. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm relatively new to this process, so I'm just wondering, we provided some testimony about 2A yesterday, and I'm just wondering how we capture that.
Oh, good point. Let's see. I'm trying to remember where you talked about 2A. Was that when the US made a motion?
Correct.
Okay. So
I mean,
maybe,
I can send you some.
yeah, we should probably put it in a paragraph under, so we have why Canada disagreed, and we should probably have 2A, add that to, let's see. We have a paragraph that says that some US conference board members opposed the US motion because it didn't go far enough, and some thought it went too far, and maybe we add it there. So let's find that.
One of the points I think is really important to capture here is we don't, the conference board folks here, we don't claim to be speaking on behalf of the treaty tribes. I think that's really
Right.
important.
Yeah, but. All right, so yeah, in paragraph 27, we have some USA members expressed support for the motion, but indicated that they would prefer a larger reduction overall. Other USACB members stated opposition, noting the stock remains above biological conservation limits. You want a statement there from non-treaty 2A members?
We would appreciate that.
Okay.
And we'll draft something and get it to you right away.
Okay, it has to be quick because we need to do final approval by 10 soon. 10:30 at the latest. So
Okay,
can
thank
you
you.
get me something in 5-10 minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
Robert?
Just a quick spelling on paragraph 15.
15?
Yeah, opening date reflect favorable. It should be reflects, I think.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so Basha, no, paragraph 15, there's just a S missing on reflect. It should be reflects.
Just go to David.
And I have a comment or a change on paragraph 13 after that.
Got that one. Okay, 13.
So there's in the last sentence, there's an extra word, but I was hoping that last sentence could read, the CB noted the FIS is no longer revenue neutral and emphasize the importance of. So take out the word in.
Yep. And add emphasized.
Yep.
Okay. Okay,
And,
great.
and then my other comment is to change all the time references to the 24-hour clock. So in some places we've used 23:59, and other places we've used 5 o'clock. So change them all to 0600 or 0500.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Okay.
Chris?
Can we go back to the what was the wording there? It just said on paragraph
13?
13, yeah. And so we noted the FIS is no longer revenue neutral, and what was the word?
Emphasized.
Okay, I emphasize isn't in kind of the language of the noted, recommended, whatever. Could we use, and maybe we're straying out of bounds here, but what I'm wondering, could we say we agreed? Move it to level 2?
And agreed to.
I would just say and agreed, sorry, I'm flipping back and forth here. And maybe I'm going further than we talked about, but we agreed on the importance of securing equitable funding, or I don't know, I'm just.
Yeah, if the word emphasize is a problem, I'm fine taking it out. What I was trying to get at is we recognize FIS needs to be funded, and we want to encourage everyone to be all hands on deck on figuring out how to fund it. That's all I was trying to get at.
So what I do there is I under the CB noted the fizz, I would bold that second noted, the CB noted the fizz is no longer revenue neutral, or and then I just say, and I take out a grade, I just say, and we noted that it's no longer, and the importance of securing equitable funding for fizz from the contracting parties.
So change it to noted and noted the importance of securing.
I think if we don't have to say noted again, I just say CB noted that the fizz is no longer revenue neutral and the importance of securing equitable funding. So we're captured it both there.
Okay, you don't want agreed?
No, I'd say got agreed.
Okay, so, all right. So we noted those two things. Okay. Okay, we have a 2A sentence.
So for right now,
Just
do we
keep it
want to
short.
update the times, or will that be done later? Like the 0600 and the 0400?
So that's in 14, so make it 0600. And then.
And then paragraph 16.
Yeah, 0400 later down in that one. And then 16. Okay.
Linda, did I miss that when we went from securing equal funding back to securing equitable funding? Was that
I think after what Monica read about, it says equal, but the two parties can work together to figure out who raises how much or who contributes how much. We thought equitable captured that language.
okay?
If you read the rest of that sentence, it qualifies the equal.
No, yeah, I read it.
Okay. Okay, anything else people are seeing? We have an extra space there. So we just need that a sentence. You want added on 2A, I think we're pretty close.
Linda, this is Patty.
Yeah, go ahead, Patty.
I was just on that number 9, maybe add in calls to attention.
I'm sorry, say that again. Number 9.
Yes. Calls to attention. Yeah.
And where would you add call to attention in that
Calls to
first?
attention.
The CB noted and called to attention.
I gotta pull up the document. Can you go to number 9 so I can see it?
We're just fixing some addresses. Paragraph 9. Yeah. Okay, so this is a section about the information we were provided from Dr. Stewart. We received clarification and advice on the following topics. Is there something you wanted to add there, Patty?
Yes, it's that section on the FIS. Did you move it? Okay, great.
This section is
okay, and so after the CB noted the FIS is no longer revenue neutral, And
Where's that?
what did I say? Calls to attention the importance of securing equitable funding. Calls to attention the importance. Yes, thank you.
I think we were, trying to use the noted, agreed to, recommended language that the Secretariat. But I suppose it's fine. Okay, all right. So then that's fine. I'm being told that's fine. Anything else besides a sentence from 2A?
I still have a question about lines 47 and 48. Is our recommendation that it be sent to the MSAB included in line 50?
Is that going back to the rebuilding plan?
The rebuilding plan, yes, and the mortality limits.
Just wait till we get to that point there, Mike, and because we just want to get through the rest of it and then just hold for those comments that you have.
Of course, you're taking it.
Chris, you got a couple.
Yeah, I'm not sure what paragraph we're on, but can we go back to 17?
Yep.
Just in 17, I just think we need an adverb maybe. We noted that it allows only 1 day of favorable tides.
Okay.
I don't want somebody to think that 1 day is sufficient, that's all.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
So only 1 day of favorite. Oh. Did you get that last one? And 17. With the date proposed by USCB allows only, so just add before 1 day. Okay, well, if there's nothing before, did we still not capture that the conference board was requesting that MSAB take a look at?
Thought we did that.
I thought we added that, but I thought that's what, who was that, was bringing that up?
That was Mike Fowler. That's later on down. That's on the.
Yeah, but I'm not hearing anybody have anything between there where, or before that. So wait, I'm trying to find that now. Yeah, recommended the commission direct the MSAB to use the MSC process to evaluate. I think we did get it. Mike, did you see something you wanted changed in 50?
I was just asking if those two points are included in this recommendation in 50. If 47 and 48's recommendations are included in 50, that's what I was questioning.
I didn't understand the question.
I think that the recommendation covers that, Mike.
So
okay, that's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Okay. Because 47 says propose a rebuilding plan, blah, 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 recommendation in section 6.1.6. Anybody from 2A have the sentence you want in there?
It should be in your email.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, I'll send it to you.
Is definition of reaction to overfishing the language that was in the proposal? It is, okay.
I'm sending it to your. We do have tribal fishing groups on the conference board. Maybe not tribal members showing up from region or from area 2, but we have tribes certainly from some other areas.
Okay, well, we'll let you word that how you want. I just want to make it clear that we don't represent the tribal interests.
Okay.
Obviously we are from 2A, but I just want to make sure that's clear on the record. Thank you.
I'm trying to remember where we were putting that.
24.
27. Right, so let's say, non-tribal 2A CB US or CB members. I guess we have to say US because they're all US. CB members noted. A 2% cut to the TCY in 2A will have the effect of reversing management stability created by a consistent allocation of 1.65 million pounds. Okay? Yes.
That's reflective of.
Yeah, somehow mine just screwed up. That's good. Okay, does that look good? Should be on the screen in front of you where we put it and how we stated it. It's in blue there. Maybe CB members. Is that good?
Yes, it looks good. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Are you missing a word like will have the effect of reversing? Or will cause reversing? Okay.
Anything else? Brian?
Maybe not. It might be nitpicky, but just so the language is consistent, I think that where it says being at or close to FIST percentage for that area, I think that earlier we said being informed by FIST distribution.
Being informed by the FIST distribution for that
Yeah.
area? Okay.
Yeah.
So, being
That might also
informed.
kind of capture the arm's length approach that we were going for.
Yeah, mine dropped it down, made a new paragraph out of it, so it's probably confusing you. Informed by the FIST distribution for that area.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? If not, we're going to look for a motion to adopt. Everybody want a few more minutes or are we ready?
Robert just.
I think he's ready to make a motion, but I just want to make sure. Does everybody feel ready? Like you've had time to review? Rebecca, Mark, you look like Maddie, you're still reading. Or you want another minute or are you good? Okay, good. Okay, then I think we're ready for a motion.
I'll make the motion to adopt the report.
Halibut Coalition second. Okay, let's try this. Any objection to the motion to adopt these minutes or this report? Okay, seeing none, it passes and we're done. Thank you all.
Thank you, Jim and Linda.
And just so you know, I think we are presenting the report at 1:30 today to the commissioners. Then the PAB will give their report. So if anybody wants to be in attendance, that's when that's happening.
Oh, what's to be done with the clicker situation?
Oh, the clicker situation. Do you want them returned to the table?
You can just leave them where you are, but where they are, unless they're around your neck, please, then put them on the table. in front of you.
Great.
Good,
No,
good
wanna
job with
thank,
the clickers this year. That
Yeah.
was a lot smoother.
it
was
really
good.
worked, didn't it?
Yeah.
Nice works.
Yeah, thanks both the chairs. You guys did a great job, and thank you to the secretariat for your great support.
Yeah, round of
Yeah.
applause for the secretary.
And thanks to all the conference board members too. I think we had a really constructive meeting this year, so appreciate
Yeah.
all of you.
I am always really impressed by how well everybody sticks with it and stays engaged and, manages to stay polite, respectful through some kind of tough topic. So really appreciate that from everybody. All right.
Can I?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And I would also like to really express my appreciation for your patience with our new system for voting. I think it worked really well, and I hope we can move forward with this approach. And thank you very much for participating. And we hope we supported you well. But if there are if there's room for improvement, please do let us know. Thank you.